love is running through my veins. Oh, this line can't be tamed. There's fire in my blood. Burn.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Assetto Corsa Flight Championship as we are here at Mugello for the Race of Italy, the 6th and final round of the World Touring Car Championship at the Autodromo Internazionale del Mugello for the championship decider of the first ever WTCR Championship. We're here for qualifying and we've got about 18 minutes of qualifying. Just ahead of us in the commentary booth today is me, as always, Miran FG, in the commentary booth. And yes, we are here to seal our first championship of the 2019 season, and we begin with WTCR. This will be the 6th and final round this season, and we have 7 drivers in championship contention, but only one will walk away as the 2019 champion of WTCR. But before we get stuck into all that exciting business, let's go through the track. So the Mugello circuit, known as the Autodromo Internazionale del Mugello, is a racetrack located in the Italian province of Scarperia e San Piero in Florence, in the region of Tuscany. The circuit was first opened, or well, it depends on what you decide to call it, but Mugello as a whole first held races in the 1920s through the village of Scarperia de San Piero and essentially around Italian public roads, even through the very legendary Mille Miglia circuit, for those who know their old racing history. But eventually the circuit got a bit too dangerous because it was on public roads and with Grand Prix cars, so they got all the way faster. So in 1974 they built a circuit in Mugello, and that it's been there ever since. So yeah, it's seen motorcycle racing ever since its inception. Ever since 1976 you have had the Santa Marina Motorcycle Grand Prix. A few endurance series have come here, stuff like the 24-hour series, World Superbikes, the Sidecar World Championship, and even World Sports Cars used to come here. And we had Formula 1 here in 2020. That they obviously ran here during the COVID-19 pandemic, but WTCR never raced here. So this is going to be a first in the series. But the track length that this is the Grand Prix circuit, which has remained unchanged since 1974, which is absolutely crazy to say. It is 5.245 kilometers long, 15 turns, and a race lap record would be about somewhere in the 150s, I'd say. As the stream has frozen. Great. Oh, there we are, as I have an alarm going off in the background. Hold on, let me go fix that. Hello, I am back. Sorry about the awkward silence, but yes, we are here, and we have 7 drivers in championship contention. You're looking at 1 now, Levi Thorley, who is P4 in the championship, but the 7 drivers who are in championship contention are Sergeant Morrow, who I should say isn't even racing in the series ever since Slovakia. That was his final race in WTCR before he got promoted to Porsche Super Cup. So he still leads the championship on 56 points, even though he hasn't done, he's missed 2 races. You have Grantley King, who's only a point behind, so all he needs to do is basically score a point, and just hope that no one else does. On 55 points, he's 1 point behind. In third, we have Jeremiah Bronikovsky on 7 points. Levi Thorley is P4 on 46, so he's 10 points behind. Jack Davis is on 45 points, so he's 11 points behind. Zach Jones is on 43, he's 13 points behind. And then we have Austin Montgomery, who is in P7, who is 17 points behind. So those are all the 7 people who are in the championship. 6 of them competing. 1 is just going to have to sit at the sidelines and hope that the people don't score. Either way then, we're having, I believe we're just waiting for 2 cars across the line. There's Davis up at the 4th. And then we have 1 final car across the line. But there we go. All the 26 times on the board. And it is Jeremy Jurgens. Surprisingly enough, the KCMG, or no, sorry, that's the Munich Motorsport Honda, is currently fastest. And as I do say, that Memphis Fisher in the PWR racing car takes the fastest spot. And that is Jeremiah Bronikovsky, crucially. That's one of the championship contenders. And he, I believe that's been some sort of engine failure for Jeremiah Bronikovsky, and that is not what the man in P3 in the championship needs. So already we're having title dramas here at Mugello, as one of the championship contenders have had their engine blow in qualifying, or some sort of mechanical failure. We don't know if it was the engine or not, but either way, something must have broken on that Audi, and we'll see if he will actually go out again in the session, though it is highly unlikely, I'd say, as Tom Crossley now takes the fastest spot in his Link & Co. It's not been the greatest season for Link & Co, obviously. They haven't even scored a single podium, I don't think. No, never mind, scratch that. Jonathan Lawson scored a podium at Chang, which I forgot about. And that's so far been the only podium that the Link & Co have scored this entire season. So it's not been the greatest season, unfortunately, for them. But Volkswagen doing pretty well. Currently they've got drivers P1 and P4. So they've got a quite solid pair of hands. There's Jell Joksal up into 3rd. Not bad from the man in the Volkswagen, as we were just speaking about them. As Mateusz Material now takes 2nd position, away from Jesse Jameson in 3rd. So, looking at the championship contenders, then you got Grantley King in P5. As speaking about the championship contenders, it's almost like you heard me there. Jack Davis now goes fastest. The man who won in Buriram now takes the fastest spot with a 2:01.807, only 600 faster than Tom Crossley, but it doesn't stay for long as Memphis Fisher takes it back in his PWR Racing Cupra. But Jack Day is currently 2nd. Then you have Grantley King in 7th. You have Zach Jones in P10. You have, I believe those are the guys in the points. Thorley's on the points. So is Bronikovsky. And then you have, there's Lawson up at the P10. And there's Thorley going up at the 1st. So not bad from Levi Thorley, as the man from Denmark has now gone fastest, and it's James Wilson who gets himself in 2nd, and Nikoto Zambi up into 3rd. So not bad at all, as we have a completely new top 3 in the span of only seconds. The top 3 has been completely revamped. We're getting into the low 201s now, so we could get into the 2-minute flats even. There's still 10 minutes to go, obviously, as Grantley King gets himself up into P5. Obviously, he'll be pushing for the championship here. Looks to be the clear favorite at the moment for the championship, but there's a lot of people in play here, so we don't know what is going to happen. I think the last time we had this many people in championship contention was in Formula 2 2017, where we had 7 people in championship contention. So once again we reached those numbers, and it's great to see, and great to have so many drivers pushing it for the championship here. Even one driver who isn't competing in the series. But yeah, it'll be exciting, and no one knows who's going to come out on top. So it's anyone's game here. It's all to play for in the championship. As with Grantley King, who is on a lap as he rounds sector through the Arrabbiatas he goes. Now down to Scarperia, turn number 10. The left-hander into the right of Palagio, turn number 11. As he heads into sector 3 now, through the long right-hander of Correntaio. Turn number 12, here he goes. All the inside, you can see the tire marks left by all the other drivers there. Now to Biondetti 1 and Biondetti 2. Through turns 13 and 14. And now just to the final corner, turn number 15, Buccine. And it's just going to be a sprint to the line for Grantley King. And we'll see what he can do. Down the start-finish straight he goes. Let's see if he's going to manage an improvement. 2:14 is the pole time to beat as he goes across the line, and up into P3 goes Grantley King. What about the Honda behind? No improvement from them, or maybe they weren't on the lap, I'm not quite sure. As King starts another lap, there's Nicolas Jannu, the Cypriot driver, up into 9th in the Lukoil Honda. Not a bad lap time from him as he goes only 5 thousandths faster than Mateusz Material, who is now down in 10th. So we have a person in chat, hashtag Team Bronikovsky, so we have a Jeremiah Bronikovsky supporter in chat. Well, I mean, obviously he had an engine blowout or whatever it was, that's been, and that has had him stuck in the pit lane for the majority of the session. And he's currently down in P24, but anything can happen, as we know. So it's never over until it's over. You just have to give it your all and push all the way until the very end. Here's one of the other championship contenders down in P14 at the moment. That is Zach Jones, the Australian, who's done quite well this season. Picked up a win at the Slovakia ring, along with some quite good points finishes as well. Other than that, he picked up a P5, it was, at Portimao. So yeah, it's been quite a good points haul in what is quite a short season, obviously. But a shorter season means that the more mistakes you make, the more they will cost. So for those who have gone pointless in a few races, that could cost them quite a lot in the championship. And you have had a few drivers who didn't score points last race. King and Bronikovsky did not score points last time out at Chang. Same with Zach Jones, who was struggling back at the field. As Jones is just going to start his lap of Mugello here. As he heads down into turn 1, there's Igor Zhao, who I believe is the car behind Jones at the moment. As Jones rounds San Donato, turn number 1, as he gets to the first sector, a very technical sector. This is through Luco and then Poggio Secco. This is turn number 3. Down this little straightaway then. And then through the second chicane here. Turn number 4, Materassi, and then Borgo San Lorenzo. Turn number 5 as the track now. You can really get to see the elevation changes as the track goes downhill into Casanova. Turn number 6. You can see here into turn 7 as well, and really captures the elevation change here. In the Formula 1 cars, these corners almost flat out as he now heads into the first Arrabbiata, turn number 8, and then into the second Arrabbiata, turn number 9. Both very fast left-handers. So we now head into sector 3. His middle sector time is a 1:07.6. That's about 2/10 off Levi Thorley there, who's currently going fastest. Through Scarperia and Palagio, turns 10 and 11 into Correntaio, turn number 12. It's got a little train there ahead of the Lincoln Co. and the 2 Hyundais, I think that is. As he rounds Correntaio, now through the 2 Biondettis. Through the chicane then of turns 13 and 14. Giving it his all as he heads through Buccina, turn number 15. And let's see if he is going to finish up this lap. And yeah, he is, as he goes on the inside curve there. Take as much curve as he can as he goes on the exit line here. And now it's just down the straight line. And across the line, and it's going to be for Zach Jones. Let's see what the Australian can deliver. So you have the 2 Hyundais going side by side there. Jones goes across the line. He improves, but unfortunately, he will stay in 14th. There is one of the championship contenders. That's Austin Montgomery, who is down in P7 in the championship at the moment, but he's down in P17 in qualifying, as he's been overtaken by his less experienced team at Mateusz Material. There in 10th. It's not been a bad effort for Mateusz Material in the short span of races that he has had. As Material is on a lap here at the moment, as there's Cole Slaton up at the P17. The American can't quite get himself up there. Audi Sport Team Leopard not looking too good in qualifying. Is Shane Shields as well, down in P20. Obviously, he is the highest placing driver who's out of the championship at the moment. In 8th he is, with a 29-point deficit to the lead, so he is confirmed out. As Material through the middle sector, only 600ths off, so it could be a good qualifying position here for Mateusz Material, as there's only 3/10 to go. Either way, I think he is quite the exciting rookie, and he looks to adapt to the machinery that he's given quite nicely, as Jesse Jameson up into 5th goes the American, as we're gonna have Material now making his way to the final corner. Let's see if he's actually gonna finish up the lap, as Kogan Brikacek goes up into P13, as Material rounds Buccina now, the final corner, and we're gonna see as he goes across the line. Might get the nice little slipstream there of the car ahead, as he is gonna go across the line. Then what will it be for Mateusz Material? And it's no improvement, unfortunately, for the man from Poland, as Zach Jones gets himself up into 10th now. So the Australian finally improving, and he gets himself into the top 10 at the moment. Here is Jesse Jameson then in the Volkswagen, as it's not been obviously he's not one of the full-timers either. Made his debut at the Slovakia ring along with Mateusz Material. Best finish came last race at Chang, where he finished 5th, and he'll be hoping to capitalize off that pace and finish strongly. As Jameson is just going to make his way around the final corner. Let's see if the American can improve. Obviously, one of many is Kevin Bass. That's the Canadian going up to the P6. But yeah, the ACOC having a very sudden influx of American drivers. It's great to have, obviously, all the North Americans in the ACOC. We get a lot more representation out of this, as Jameson now goes fastest with a 2:01.3. Not a bad lap time at all from the number 12 Volkswagen. But yeah, he is one of 7 American drivers to have competed in WTCR alone this season. We've had, obviously, Americans in the ACOC. You have, for example, Will Parrish in Formula 2. You had Andrew Glock in Formula 1, for those who remember, back in 2017. You have Kuben Grissom in Formula 2 as well. And I believe that's about it. I think Adam Hidayat runs dual nationality. As he's half Indonesian and half American. So we're gonna have Ekoto Sambi then. The man from Kenya, he is the first ever African driver in the ACOC, and as I said, great to have the representation from all corners of the world. I mean, we have a driver from the Solomon Islands, as Sambi is going to make his way across the line. Let's see if he can improve. No, he cannot. So we're going to have the cars finishing up their laps. There's Yano into the pit lane. Lawson comes in as well. The Cupra of Maynard. I thought it was the Honda at first, and I got a bit confused. As Maynard goes across the line, it does an improvement, but he is P25. As Kevin Bass is just gonna make his way across the line, the Canadian. Let's see what he can do as Bass goes across the line. At 2:01.6 is his current time. Can he beat it? No. Kevin Bass stays in P6. As we're just looking at the guys coming across the line. There's Shane Shields in P21. Can he lift himself out of the bottom 5? Yes, he can, as he goes up into P16 with that lap. And that is Jesse Jameson extending his advantage with a 2:01.3, so not bad at all from Jesse Jameson. As Zane Grayson's going to go across the line. Grayson, though, does not improve. As we're just waiting for the final few cars across the line. There's Joey Cristobal. As Cristobal is going to make his way across the line in the KCMG Honda. As Cristobal makes his way then across the line. P22 he is at the moment, and he goes P21, so up one position ahead of Eugen Stoyan. What about Mateusz Material in 13th? The man from Poland does not improve. Just looking through the cars who are on laps. Sambi, I believe, finished up his lap, or might he actually be the final car across the line? No, and that is qualifying done and dusted, and that means for the final race of WTCR in 2019, it is Jesse Jameson who is on pole position for the race of Italy. So it is gonna be quite interesting then, as we have 26 cars lined up on the grid then for the race of Italy, and it is Jesse Jameson who secures his first pole in WTCR, and alongside him is championship contender and fellow teammate Levi Thorley in second, looking to be the championship favorite here at Mugello. James Wilson lines up P3 with the other championship contenders, man P2 in the championship, Grantley King in 4th. Ekoto Sambi lines up P5 with Kevin Bass in 6th, as Yale Yoxall with a pretty good qualifying lines up 7th with Memphis Fisher in P8. Jack Davis, one of the other championship contenders, down in 9th with Tom Crossley in P10. Jack Davis is P11 with Nicolas Yano in 12th, and we have Mateusz Material in 13th with Jeremy Jurgens in 14th. Kogan Brikacek is 15th with Shane Shields rounding out the points in 17th. Jonathan Lawson starts in 17th with the three Americans of Grayson, Slayton, and Montgomery in P18, 19, and 20. Obviously, Montgomery, one of the championship contenders, started down in 20th with Joey Cristobal in P21, and then behind him is Eugen Stoyan. Igor Zhao starts 23rd with championship contender Jeremiah Bronikowski. With that engine blowout is really not what I needed, down in 24th, and the final two cars on the grid will be taken by Lawyer Maynard and Aiden Smith. So, for one final time in WTCR, we're going to go down to the grid as the lights are now coming on. The championship fight is on here at Mugello as we have 6 lights. And we're underway for one final time in WTCR. That looks to be a good start for Jesse Jameson, but it's a pretty good start for Thorley there behind as well, as the two are going to be side by side heading down into the first corner. Thorley needs this race lead, as there he goes. He's going to go on the outside line, gets the better jump on Jameson, as the two are going to go wheel to wheel. Thorley on the outside line, that this could be crucial for the championship, as Jameson not with the best exit as they head out of San Donato. The two are still going to be wheel to wheel. The two Volkswagen teammates going side by side, as Wilson there in the background as well in the Volkswagen. It's the Volkswagen 1-2-3 at the moment, as Thorley still side by side with his teammate Jesse Jameson as they head into turn number 3. And on the outside goes Levi Thorley. Jameson holding off on the inside line. I think he should be ahead as this might bring James Wilson into the fight, as Jameson on the inside line. Thorley senses the opportunity as he still carries on the battle on the inside as Levi Thorley takes the lead heading into Savelli, and Wilson is going to try to Jesse James as well. The poles are going to go down another position here, as that is Wilson, the Canadian, up into second with a very nice move round the outside through into Arrabbiata, and look at that, he's already wheel to wheel, or already on the back of Levi Thornton. There's Zach Jones side by side with Tom Crossley, as Crossley's going to try to retaliate on Zach Jones. There's Jano and Jürgens side by side, the Hyundai versus the Honda, and it's going to be the Hyundai of Nicolas Jano who gets ahead, and then in the background is Grayson and Brikacek going wheel to wheel as he goes around the outside. Oh dear, and that is going to be Brikacek round as he sideswipes into the side of Zane Grayson, and you can see he's rolling backwards there, and he's held up quite a few guys there. And that is going to be Kogan Brikacek out on lap 1 here at the race of Italy. There's Davis though trying to make it move. Sambi blocks the Brit in the championship, as you see there Wilson chasing down Thorley as we head on to lap 2. There is Sambi wheel to wheel with Kevin Bass, as I think that's another car stuck. I think Aiden Smith, yeah, that is the other Alfa Romeo who is out in only the first few laps. So both Alfa Romeo Team Mulsanne cars have had their cars wiped out due to mishaps, as you have Jürgens there ahead of Nicolas Jano, and yeah, there's Aiden Smith out, so both Alfa Romeos out, and that is going to be a torrid end to the Italian outfit's final race in WTCR. So there's Jonathan Lawson running in 14th, behind his Shane Shields defending from Eugen Stoyan, as Shields himself trying to chase down Zane Grayson for P16, the points positions obviously. As we see the situation in the top 3, Thorley leads Wilson from Jameson, and then Grantley King in P4. Now I have to do championship calculations in my head. Math was not always my strong suit, so I am very sorry. Wilson goes a bit wide. Could that maybe give Jesse Jameson a little opportunity to try and line up a move, quite possibly? So at the moment, if my calculations are wrong, Thorley and King would actually tie on the championship, which is absolutely crazy. Things are not going to finish like this, I can tell you that. But at the moment, Thorley and King are going to be tied on the championship, and I do think I have to check this. Championship will go to Thorley because he has a P2, and King's highest finishing position is P3 apart from his victory. As there goes Wilson on Thorley, he's going to try to sabotage the Danes championship hopes here, as he goes on the inside line there into San Donato, round the outside into turn 2 goes Wilson, as they're going to head through Poggio Secco, and out of Poggio Secco they come, and James Wilson takes the lead here at Mugello, and that is going to be costly in the championship, as this brings the championship lead to Grantley King. As there's Davis trying to make the move on Grantley King on the outside line there. Not had the best exit though, because here comes Kevin Bass on the inside line, then into Casanova as he goes on the inside line of Davis, but the Brit holds off the Canadian, as there's Fisher and Yoxall wheel to wheel, as Fisher tries to hold off the man from the Solomon Islands round the outside into the first Arrabbiata. Yoxall though holding on as they head to the second Arrabbiata, but he goes a bit on the curb there, and that should give Fisher the exit that he needs. Didn't get the best exit though. There's Jones defending from Tom Cross. You can see how close they are as they head into Scarperia, as they're going to go side by side into Palagio as well. And there is Jones ahead into Palagio. He is ahead for P10. Oh god, I got the hiccups. as Lawson goes a bit wide. There's Yano trying to make the move on Jonathan Lawson. As Lawson himself is going to be chasing down Jeremy Jurgens. There's Kevin Bass trying to make the move on championship contender Jack Davis. As we head down into San Donato once again, is anyone going to line up a move on each other? Bass looking very close to the back of Davis. Could he try it in the first corner? No, he stays behind. Crossley, though, is going to try it on Zach Jones. Around the outside goes the Welshman on the Australian. As behind is Jurgens and Lawson going wheel to wheel as well. As the two are going to go side by side. The two Swedish teams are going to battle each other as Jones on the inside defends from Crossley. Lawson and Jurgens going wheel to wheel though, and it's going to be Lawson who gets ahead of Jeremy Jurgens. Not quite, as they head into Materazzi and Borgo San Lorenzo on the inside. As they head out of Borgo San Lorenzo, it is Lawson ahead. He's won the battle, but it's not over yet, as Jurgens going to try it on the inside to Casanova. No, not close enough. Lawson pulls away as they enter Casanova and has compromised him on exit here, as Yano uses all the track possible to try and close up on Jurgens. Here is Davis on King. The two championship contenders are going to battle for position. It's going to be the Munich Motorsport car versus the Audi Sport Team Come To You. As there's a crash in the back, and that is Zane Grayson. And he seems to be stuck there. I think that must have been some form of reliability failure, and you can see the cars are getting held up here. And traffic jam, and that is Maynard stuck behind his teammate Giles, trying to wriggle his way past, and Grayson is out. That is our third retirement of the session, and yet Joe and Maynard getting back past once again as Thorley. Look at this, Levi Thorley is losing time on James Wilson. Wilson is pulling away, and this could be horrible for Levi Thorley. He's going to have to hope that Davis behind is able to get Grantley King, so they'll be basically even on points. But at the moment, it is advantage Grantley King, and I have to say we're having a thriller of a championship battle here. As there's Crossley on Zach Jones, as we've had another crash, I think, and that's Bronikovsky, and that is the man who's P3 in the championship, and his title ambitions are over here at Mugello, and Bronikovsky's title ambitions come to an end at Mugello. That's a shame for what was already a torrid weekend, and Bronikovsky is out of the race of Italy, and he's gonna have to hope for teammate Davis, who's turning in P6, to bring home the bag. But there's Kevin Bass on the inside looking to foil those plans as they head into Casanova, and there's Savelli. There's Bass on the outside line, but Davis defends though. Bass not close enough, as there's Yoxo having a look on Memphis Fisher. As we still have Bass chasing down Davis. But Davis, you can see, yeah, he's losing time to Grantley King there. 1.4 seconds to the man from Barbados. As you have Eko Tosambi chasing down Jesse Jameson at the moment, as he goes a bit wide though through Quarantayo, that is. Gonna have to hope to gain through these final few corners then, trying to secure a second podium for Lincoln Co here as we head into Bushina turn at number 15. You see the Bass closing in on the inside line. Has just got a good exit. There's Yoxel on the inside on a Fisher. He's trying every opportunity he can to try and get past Fisher, but he just can't at the moment. As there's Wilson standing the fastest lap of the race. That is one extra point, remember. As there is Tom Crossley. Crossley trying to line up the move on Yoxall, still stuck in P10. after he got past Zach Jones. So look a bit further up the field. There is his teammate Sambi at the moment. You see, he is quite close to the back of Jesse Jameson. He's going to try to disrupt this Volkswagen 1-2-3 it is at the moment, which is absolutely crazy. It goes to show the how good the Volkswagens are. Even though BOP is in place, the VWs seem to reign supreme over the series. But there is the man in the Swedish car, the Lincoln Co. of Ikoto Sambe, trying to disrupt the Volkswagen 1-2-3, as you have the Honda of Jeremy Jurgens currently running in the points, chasing down Jonathan Lawson. As there is Jurgens still chasing down Lawson as they head for Quarantayo. At the moment, let me calculate the championship very quickly. It would be... yeah, it would be King who would get the championship at this point by, I believe it would be 2 points, I think, at this stage. As there's Jurgens having a look on the outside of Lawson. But all Thorley has to hope for is that Jameson behind doesn't overtake him, and that King somehow gets overtaken by Jack Davis, who is right now about a second behind the Honda at the moment. Is going to be quite interesting though. As Sambi is still chasing down Jesse James as they head through Quarantayo. You can see how close he gets. Just isn't close enough to try the move on Jameson. Now down the back straight, or start-finish straight we go. It's not the back straight, it's the main straight. As we have Kevin Bass, who's chasing down Jack Davis. As he is going to try and make the move on Davis, quite possibly. Is he close enough even? No. Looked to me that was quite close, but no, he wasn't. See how close he gets to the corners, so especially these chicanes. Close him by quite a bit. No! He isn't closing, he's only losing time. What on earth? I could have sworn it like he was getting closer, but no, he's actually losing time to the corners on Jack Davis. So could this be Davis pulling away, maybe picking up the pace? It is going to be interesting though. King is going to have to, he's going to probably put up one hell of a defense to Jack Davis, I would say that. And Davis is catching King, and that would be a That will be about, if he's currently P5, he'd only go down 1 point if he goes down to P6. So, he would still be in the championship lead if he still goes down 1 position. So he would still be safe. Just he has to hope that Thorley doesn't clinch the fastest lap. Because remember, Thorley, if both King and Thorley do tie, the Thorley will win on countback. So it is going to be very, very interesting to see how this plays out. As you have Sambi, who's still chasing down Jesse Jameson there. He looks to be on the pace, but he just can't find the right opportunity to get past the American. As you can see, he tries there on the outside, but he's just going to run out of room here on the exit, and it's not going to give him the best run. As they head through turns 4 and 5. Somebody trying to chase down James, and he's losing time through these corners, I notice. Lincoln Cole looks a bit better in the fast 2 corners. As here is Austin Montgomery, which has been just a really... sorry about that. But yeah, it's just been quite a torrid weekend for Austin Montgomery. Down in P18, his championship fight, I guess, would be over. Zach Jones, who's looking to make the move to crossing there on the inside into Arrabbiata 2. Had the look, but he's not got the best exit. As here comes Jonathan Lawson on the inside line into turn number 10. He will go. Scarperia, and then through turn 11 it's going to be Jones on the inside line, and he is going to get past Jeremy Jurgens. Might try something here as well, as he's going to head into Correntayo. Has a look on the outside, goes to the inside though, into Correntayo, but it goes wide. That's going to allow Lawson to remain ahead. As we were just speaking about Zach Jones, currently P11. He will still be scoring points, just not enough to secure the championship. He's 13 points behind Moro in the championship. As there goes Material and Janno, the 2 young Hyundai drivers, scrapping it out. As Material tries it on the inside of the man from Cyprus. As we can head down the start-finish straight. It's the Hyundai Squadra Corsa versus the Hyundai Team Lukoil car. As there goes Lawson on the inside of Zach Jones now. He's going to try to rip away the position from the Australian, but he goes a bit too much, takes a bit too much curve though, and that's going to allow Jones to be a bit ahead as they head into turn 2, and then through turn number 3 as well. Poggio Secco, it's going to be Lawson on the inside and Jones on the outside as they head into Materassi. Can Lawson make the move stick as they're going to head into the braking zone of turn 4? As he is later on the brakes heading into turn 4, but is he going to have enough traction on the inside line there? Yes, he does, and it's going to be Jonathan Lawson who is going to be ahead, and Jones might lose another position as Jeremy Jurgens now tries it on the inside into Casanova. Will the move work as they head into Savelli? As he goes on the outside, no, it does not work, and it's going to be Jones who remains ahead of Jurgens. As through the Arrabbiatas they go, still quite close to the back of the Cupra there. Like you see, they're having a look on the outside, or was he? I think probably just trying to take an alternative line. I don't think that was actually him lining up for a move either way. Jurgens will still be chasing down Zach Jones here. As you still have Ekoto Sambi, who is chasing down Jesse Jameson here. But at the moment, for those watching, championship will go to Grantley King. So at the moment he's set to be the he's set to become the first ever WTCR champion, but I'm not going to jinx anything. We don't know what's going to happen, as there we have Jurgens trying it on Jones. Jones might go down another position here if he's not careful. So we're going to head down the start-finish straight. There in the background is Mateusz Material, who go past Nicolas Janno, who's trying to get up to these guys as well, as Material now running in the points. Is Jurgen's gonna try it on the inside? No, he's too far away on Zach Jones. As he might have a look on the outside line though. Material's gonna follow suit, trying to follow his lines here. As he heads into turns 2 and 3. It's about 3/10 off Zach Jones as they make their way out of the third corner. As we have a battle in the background, here is Cristobal versus Slayton. Slayton goes on the inside line, but he's gonna have the outside through turn 2 as they head through the chicane. Cristobal and Slayton battling for 19th position as Cristobal goes on the inside line of the Audi, and he should have them moved on as they head out of turn 3. And that is Joey Cristobal into P19, but he's got an 11-second gap to Stoyan in 18th. As Jurgen's still trying to get past Zach Jones here. Jones is going to go down another position quite possibly, as here we have it. Jack Davis chasing down Grantley King as they head through the two Biondettis, and they're going to head down to the final corner as well. Davis is going to be chasing down King for that P5. The two championship contenders are going to go wheel to wheel. As there is Jurgens, and he's trying to get past Zach Jones there as they headed into Buccine, but he was not able to get past him, and he hasn't actually had the best exit. Mateusz Material trying to line up a move on the German as he is looking rather close to the back of Jurgens, but I don't think he is going to line up a move. No. He stays back as Jurgens goes wide. Material goes even wider, as that is the consequence of trying to follow the car ahead and their lines. If they go wide, you're going to risk going even wider. As you have Davis chasing down Grantley King. Look how close he is to the back of Grantley King as he takes an alternative line through Savelli. Through the two Arrabbiatas he goes. You see how close he is to the back of Grantley King. Down the main straight. No, we're not there yet. Into Quarantayo they go, but Davis looks to have gone a bit wide actually. And you can see that, yeah, he's lost massive amounts of time through that corner only, and that really shows that going wide really compromises your line. It's not the best exit either. Kevin Bass has a look on the outside, has a look on the inside though. Here he goes into Buccine at the final corner as Davis going to defend on the outside. This is not what Jack Davis needs at the moment, as Bass is going to try it. As are they going to be wheel to wheel, laying down the start finish straight? No, they aren't. So Davis is going to remain behind. Then there just about you can see Sambi chasing down Jameson. But now Davis, you can see he's lost time to King. Sambi, though, look how close he is to the back of Jesse Jameson as he has a look on the outside, but he's gone a bit wide in the process, having to adjust his line, and that's cost him. So he won't be able to make the move just now, as Jurgens is going to make the move of Zach Jones. Here he goes on the inside line of Zach Jones, the Australian versus the German. As can he make it on the inside line? Jones, though, looks to have the better traction on the outside as they head to turn 3, and that is Lawyer Maynard. We're going to focus on this battle. Jurgens goes on the inside line with Zach Jones. Jones might go down another position, one that he already lost to Jonathan Lawson, as they're going to head into the second chicane. And Jurgens late on the brakes, but Jones gets two wheels up in the air as he goes over the curb. But yeah, that's Lawyer Maynard, who is now out of the race of Italy, and that's both DHL Krupas out, as there's Material trying it on the inside of Zach Jones, but Jones on the inside should be able to defend from the Polish driver, and he is ahead of Material at the moment. But Jones down to P13 now. The championship is just fading away for the Australian, unfortunately. And I have to say, I think it is going to be between Thorley and King. As we are on lap, 13 of 15. 2 laps to go. Grantley King looks to be set to become the champion of WTCR. But anything can still happen, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know. As there goes Yale Yoxall on Memphis Fisher, as the two are going to go wheel to wheel. Yoxall on the inside. There's better traction on the outside line, though. It's going to have the better exit, Memphis Fisher, as Yoxall might try a move into San Donato, quite possibly. There is Material chasing down Jones. There's Zombie who's still putting the pressure on Jesse Jameson, I have to say. Jameson cool as ice at the entire of this race, despite losing 2 positions. He's maintained his calm here in 3rd, and he's been able to hold off Ekoto Zombie the entire race. Zombie, though, if he wants to make the move, he's only got 2 laps to do it. So we'll see what will happen as they head into Casanova and Savelli. Out of Savelli, they go into the Arrabbiatas. Through Arrabbiata 2. Zombie trying to get the exit on Jameson, but he just can't do it. Into Corantayo. You can see how close he gets. Through Scarperi and Palagio, now into Corantayo. He is very, very close. He just has to open or run wide. It's very easy to run wide into Corantayo, as we have seen. And yep, textbook instance of running wide through Corantayo, as Ekoto Zombie provided us with. And I think I just jinxed it for Ekoto Zombie. Either way, he is still not that far back on Jesse Jameson. As they head through Bucine, that is. I think I was wrong my Italian pronunciation. I think it's Bucine, not Bucine. If any Italians are watching, please correct me. As I am studying Italian, I need help on pronunciation. As we have Kevin Bass who's chasing down Jack Davis. We're now on the final lap. The final lap of WTCR of the season. As we're going to have Kevin Bass on Jack Davis. As here he goes on the inside line of Davis, but Jack on the outside line defends from the Canadian. It's going to be, I think, Davis who is going to get P6. But Jack Davis 1.6 behind Grantley King. I don't think it is going to be much he can do. Levi Thorley is going to be in 2nd. He's not going to get James Wilson. And despite doing all that he could today, I think Thorley is going to have to be P2, unfortunately for him. As we round the Arrabbiatas for the final time now, through Arrabbiata 1 and then Arrabbiata 2. Sambi now through into Palagio and now into Corantayo. It's going to be his final shot to try a move, but he is going to be too far behind here to try anything. I think it's just sparks flying from the wheel. But this man then, James Wilson from Canada, has driven a pretty good race. He started, P4, and up into P1 he will go as he rounds Bucine for the final time, and he becomes the final race winner of the season. What a way to cap off the season for James Wilson as he comes home to win the race of Italy. But in 5th position, it is gonna be Grantley King, who is gonna be the champion of WTCR 2019 as he comes home to finish P5. and that is our first champion crowned, ladies and gentlemen. Grantley King from Barbados in the Munich Motorsport Honda becomes the champion of WTCR. And there we go, that is our championship crowned and season done and dusted. But I think a bit of troubles at the back. Is that going to be a late DNF for Cole Slayton? I think has hit issues. Oh no, and that is at the final corner for Cole Slayton, and the car just gives up on him. That has got to be that has got to be very, very frustrating, and not the way he wants to end off the season. Grantley King, though, you're looking at him, that is your brand new champion of WTCR. It's been a wild ride for the man from Barbados. 1 win, 1 podium, and he caps off the season strong in P5. But that is it for WTCR. Let's go through the final race results of the season. It's James Wilson who wins with the fast lap. 26 points go to the Canadian's name, with Levi Thornley in second. He did all he could today, but he is only going to be second. And it's going to be Jesse Jameson in third, with Eko Tosambi in a close fourth. And Grantley King, your new WTCR champion in fifth. Then you have Jack Davis in sixth, with Kevin Bass in seventh. There's Memphis Fisher and B with Yale Yoxall in ninth. Tom Crossley is P10, with Jonathan Lawson in 11th, and Jeremy Jurgens in 12th. Then we have Zach Jones, who didn't really... Oh god, I'm having hiccups. I'm sorry, it's so hard to do this. Zach Jones, who this really not how his race wanted to go, but it's a shame. P13 with Mateusz Paterel in 14th, and the other Hyundai of Nicolas Yano in 15th. And then it's Shane Shields rounding out the points in P16. Also, Montgomery finishes out of the points with Eugen Stoyan in 18th, Joy Cristobal in 19th, with Igor Zhao as the last finisher. Then the non-DNFers are Slayton, Maynard, Grayson, Bronikovsky, Brikacek, and Smith. But that has been it for WTCR this season. Thanks so much for watching. That is a wrap for WTCR. It is all done. But before we go, for one final time this season, I will give out driver of the day, and it will go to James Wilson. I think he drove a fantastic race, made some nice overtakes, and pulled away for the lead. So, yeah, real nice way to end the season for James Wilson, and he wins. But that's been it for WTCR this season. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with us. Congratulations to Grantley King for becoming the WTCR champion of 2019. But that has been it for WTCR and ACOC. We will see you when the ACOC returns this week, tomorrow, for the Porsche Super Cup race at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. And then we have Formula 2 and Formula 1 at the Mexican Grand Prix, where Jesper Johansson could seal the title in Formula 1. And then we have Formula E as well, which is going to carry on with the Nuremberg Prix. But yes, until then, I've been your commentator, Miran FG. We will see you when the